And welcome back to TheNosePlays Sunless Sea, Zubmariner. Picking up part 7 of our series that is going exceptionally well, although not for trying. We almost killed ourselves several times last game. Things are getting a little hairy now. We've lost the most profitable trade routes that we used to carry, but we have access to some new ones that might be even more profitable if we're careful. The problem is we weren't exceptionally careful last game, and I did some things that, definitely were risky. One of those things we'll talk about in a moment when we get into the game, but yeah. So, on with part 7. You can launch an attack before you've completed a firing solution, but you may miss. Pro tip of the day. Generally, it's not worth doing unless you're about to die. The rate of fire and the rate of missing is not something that makes that profitable. Okay, so several things have happened. It looks like it rewound the game a little bit again, which is unfortunate. But we can take care of some of that. So I gotta see, let's go to our hold first and see. Okay, we did turn in our port reports, it looks like. We have 20 cargo space available to us. We need to drop off. It looks like I've already picked up that. Let's go to our journal. I'm not sure if it would be in our journal or our hold. I'm looking for restful nights. Okay, we have 2 restful nights. So we did already rest in our town home. I think... Okay, and I did switch my engines back. So this is one of the things that I wanted to point out. The engines. So I mentioned this in one of the earlier videos. The Elderly Steeple is by far the most fuel-efficient engine in the game. You can travel farther on 1 barrel of fuel with this engine than any other engine. The downside is that it comes at a cost, and the cost is time. You move much more slowly, and because of that, things like supplies and terror increase more steadily. So it's a give and a take. Fuel is more efficient, but supplies and terror are problematic with this engine. The other thing that is problematic is you're moved so slowly that it's very difficult to outmaneuver or get away from certain enemies in the game. And that's very dangerous when you're not very combat capable. This engine is only slightly better in terms of speed, and it's also slightly less fuel efficient. So this is kind of a good mediator, or a good in-between engine. Anything more powerful than that really starts to drain your fuel. Now keep in mind, we also have Maybe's Daughter, and we also have We Are Clay. You can't see what We Are Clay are doing. Can I grab the book? There we go. There you go. So that's giving us 350 extra engine power. And so that 350 doesn't come for free. It comes at a cost of more fuel per second of use. But it does move you a little bit more quickly around the map, which reduces the need for supplies and makes terror a little bit less likely to accumulate. If you can travel between regions quickly, then you can use the little juggling trick that I've been demonstrating. So, we switched back to the more fuel-efficient engine. We still have our nice deck gun. What is our terror set to? Our terror is down to 14 at this point. And I think the only thing that we had left to do was basically plot our course for our next trip. Now, I put pages, all the characters that are good at pages, in place for the moment. And that's probably fine. Never ye knew ye. Look around. Who was here? Gone. There was a woman in a purple dress. Vanished. Sailors smile cautiously and duck their heads when you ask what happened to the lady in lilac. There must have been some sort of disagreement. If only you could remember the details. You've lost one. The lady in lilac. New total is 0. So, I don't know a ton about her. The lady in lilac. Now, where exactly did you meet again? Did Clattermonk the Tattooist introduce you? Basically, the way that this character works is whenever you're out to Z, and your terror gets above, I believe, 75, she will randomly appear and join your crew. She will stay with your crew until your terror drops below 25, at which point she will vanish, which is exactly what she did since we dropped our terror to 14. So we might be able to pick her up again, but it's not something that you generally want to do. However, if you can keep your terror sort of in between that 25 to 75 range, she's a very powerful officer. It gives you pretty good stat boosts. Okay, what we really want to do, though, is plot our course. And I really need to think about where we need to go. One place that we definitely need to go is the Khanate. We have not seen the Khanate yet, but I'm guessing that it's probably over in this region. It could also be here. It's unlikely to be anywhere else. It's usually pretty far out to the east. We need to go to Khan's Shadow. I think we needed to go to Khan's Shadow. We needed to go to Khan's Heart or Khan's Shadow for the Admiral. That was one of our quests. We also need to go to Mount Palmerston to deliver the present to the wistful Deviliss. And then we needed to go to Gatorsmorn to drop off our passenger that we picked up. Oh, where was that at? Down here in the Melting Isles, I believe. So we're doing pretty good. I still haven't revealed Irem yet. That's also a location that's on our short list of places we need to go. And any trip that we take is going to have to basically account for fuel and supply. So if we take a trip out this direction, we can get fuel at Mount Palmerston, and we can get supplies at Demuth as long as we do so early. We can also do some wine trading and Godfall. So I'm thinking that perhaps the best route is going to be to head straight out to Godfall, pick up the stuff in Polytheme, and then maybe try to swing back around this way. The only problem with that plan is fuel. Fuel is going to be a bit of a problem. We're going to need quite a bit of it, and I'm going to have to make sure that whatever direction we go, I have enough fuel to get back to Mount Palmerston to resupply. Or maybe we go this way. Thinking. Well, we can think while we're shopping. So currently I have 13 fuel and 6 supplies. That's not a lot, and we're actually really close to consuming another supply. But we want to make money. So what we really need to do is buy that wine. Alright, let's just see what we can do with this. I'm curious to see how much more fuel efficient we are when traveling this way. I think we're going to head just straight to Godfall. We'll stop in Gatorsmorn on our way, and then we'll make some decisions from there as to what our fuel looks like. So from here to the Salt Lions, I want to pay really careful attention to how much fuel we end up using. So we are at 70% of 13th barrel. And we can just head straight out. We'll tag the Salt Lions on our way. Try to stay in the light as much as possible. Before I do anything else, we need to go to our journal. Because our surgeon has abandoned us, so we need to put our other surgeon in place. And while we're traveling, Higher Vales is probably in order. That makes us a little bit sneakier. There might be a big angler crab over here that we can try and take down. That will have an impact on our fuel efficiency, but so running lights off puts us almost 1 barrel, 70% to 70%. The Salt Lions. Okay, no more Sphinx Stone to send anymore. Pick over the encampment. From time to time, some entrepreneur attempts to continue to disassemble the Salt Lions. It never ends well, but perhaps they've left something behind. This is actually really good. Once the Salt Lions has been destroyed, you can regularly pick up a supply and a fuel here, but it will cost you 5 terror each time you do it. Also, the port report is still here, and we still get fuel and echoes for that. But there's nothing else here to be had. Okay, so that took us a little over 1 barrel of fuel. So if we take a look, from here to London, running lights off cost us approximately 1 barrel of fuel. And you might remember we were consuming much more than that with those other engines. So fuel efficiency really starts to go out the window when you get 500 extra points above what we're currently running. So it's very important as you get some of these bigger ships that you understand that getting bigger engines will make your ship move faster, which is great for supplies and terror, but it will suck down the fuel. And so all those extra slots that you have for cargo, many of those cargo slots have to be dedicated to fuel, or you can get yourself in a lot of trouble, similarly to how we did. So 1 more barrel of fuel to get from here to here. I'm curious, how much terror did we pick up? Ooh, I think we picked up something like 10 points. We had like 14 when we were in port. Let's try running from here to Gatorsmorn with lights on and see how much more fuel we consume. So we're at 13 barrels with 48 when we leave port. And we're pretty much going to head straight to Gatorsmorn. May have to turn lights off periodically. I don't see who sees us. Okay. There he is. I'm not too worried about him. Need to go this way. He probably can't catch me. I can run lights off here because we're in the lighthouse's light. Actually, we're able to run a lot of this lights off. That's pretty good for us. Okay, the vast eye knows us. The nightmares have continued. Alright. Let's take a look. So we didn't gain hardly any terror on that portion of the trip. And we are at 88% of our 11th barrel of fuel. We were at 60% roughly of our 13. So it took 1 barrel and 80% of another to run with lights on. So it's almost double running with lights on with these engines. Alright, Gator's Mourn. Somebody needed to be dropped off. Yes, the Shady Lady. We've gained 120 echoes. That's good. An Evening at the Errant Limpet. A drinking den by the dock cradles is a good place for your crew to find companionship and let off steam. But although Gator's Mourn is a free port, the Corsairs prefer their own and look askance at respectable Londoners. A modest challenge of success for 50 echoes. Perhaps not. We could also gather intelligence. This is very tricky unless your Veils is pretty high. Once you get your Veils high enough, you can do this pretty regularly, but it's a little bit dangerous to do it without. They tend to run you off if they catch you. I don't think we'll be purchasing anything here or selling anything here. So we can just explore the Mourn and see what happens. There's a surprising quantity of actual landscape on the Mourn. It's vertical, admittedly, but once you find the best paths and urchin roads, you can traverse it as you would a rocky moor, with an additional throatful of lurching terror. A Contremps with Corsairs. Fights on the Mourn have a staccato quality. A careless lunge will send you plummeting to your doom, so wait and choose your moment carefully. We have a 49% chance or a 53% chance. They're roughly the same. I say we stand and fight. And we fail. Knives glitter in the lamplight. Shots ring out. Sailor after sailor goes spinning away in the dark. Withdraw if you can. You've failed an iron challenge. You've lost 1 crew. You've gained 5 terror. That's unfortunate. We did not need to gain terror, but we've done what we needed to do here. Let's head to Godfall and then to Polythene. And we'll run lights on till we can't really run lights on anymore. Try to get as much off of that as I can. Alright. Pretty much a straight shot here. Nope. Couldn't save it. Should have ran my lights on a little bit more. This may be the last time that we get to sell wine here. 150, 150, 50, 150. Okay, cool. They're still paying good prices for that wine. We'll compile a port report. And we'll head to Polythene. There is something in the water here, so this might be a good time to take our submarine under and see what the port is that is directly under here. I'll try to get our terror down first. And something is here. Okay. I don't know why we were unable to get underwater there. I guess we'll find out here in a moment. There must be rocks. Ah, yes, there it is. Oh, the echoes. Alright. Cool, just in time. Something awaits us. The lights glance past the windows. Another submarine. You have discovered Daunt. Daunt! Drownies built a copy of London, as it never was, a cathedral, and houses, and fields of flowers all underwater. The water is cool and luminous, and at the same time, it is breathable air. Assemble a port report. Gather information for the Admiralty. This will always generate a port report, but the contents of the port may vary. Okay. Wander, look, make no commitments. Stay a while. Bring the Drownies news of how London is now, and they will allow you to remain here for a time in exchange. Note that it is easy to gain terror in Daunt. Be careful. Ask a Drownie for the latest news of Daunt. The town is thriving and full of events. Let's start with this one. The more you look, the more you see that you are perhaps not intended to. The cathedral's crypt is a prison. The graveyard is larger than it looks, and the bones are not all buried. The border between the breathable water and the dangerous water is not marked clearly. Some have drowned in crossing over, leaving their possessions scattered on the sea floor. We have a port report. I guess that's good. What does it look like for shops? Ooh. Fuel is relatively cheap here, so that's good to know that we now have somewhere that we can purchase fuel. Supplies are slightly cheaper, but don't sell for very much. Captivating treasures can be bought for sapphires. 11 sapphires for a captivating treasure. Sapphires are generally 86 at the cheapest. So that would be 860 plus 86, 946. So for roughly 1,000 echoes, we can get a captivating treasure, and then we can use that to make an heirloom for our next captain. That might be worthwhile to think about. Not sure what else we want to do here. Let's see. We do want to head up to Polythene. Well, we've already passed Demew, and we're starting to approach more terror than is profitable to farm supplies there with. So perhaps we restock a little bit here, and then head to Polythene, and then uncover more of the map this go around. I think that makes the most sense. So what we want to buy is we have 14 cargo left. 6 cargo will be the Clayman, which leaves us with 20 cargo space. Let's see, it cost us 14. It cost us 5 fuel to get here. So that's 5 more fuel. That replaces the fuel we just spent. And I think we only used like 1 supply in all of that. Let's go with this for now. I don't want to overspend on anything here, but this might be the cheapest fuel we can buy out here. Alright, let's head to Polythene. I don't really want to fight that. Alright. We should be safe here. And close enough that we won't gain any more terror. Recycle our lights. Gather intelligence. Carry Clayman to London. 95. Selling sapphires here is slightly more profitable than selling them in London. They sell for 90 in London. So I think there is one location in one of the submarine towns that sell for 99, but I could be mistaken. Nothing else to do here, so we're going to get on our way quickly. There is something south of us, but I can't remember what that is. And I'm pretty sure this is the Khanate, because I think we've seen the borders, just the very edges of it. So let's head over there. Off we go. There's something underwater to the south. An obstruction prevents us from diving. What is it? It's quite an obstruction. Let's see what it was. Ah, I recognize this place. Unfortunately, we don't want to travel in that current. But I think I can get over here. This is quite creepy. This is Nook. Oh. Apparently I'm running into rocks. Alright, the edge of Nook. This is one of my favorite places underwater. Very creepy looking. A gap in this colossal Z monster's throat has been forced open with thick heart metal beams. They strain under the pressure but hold as you pass through. Your submarine lights pass over a message carved in floating piece of some unfortunate hull. Beyond is Nook. beyond is freedom. Beyond is... the rest is scratched out. Water presses against the airlock door. The breathing and slithering of the beast gives its rhythm of a drumbeat. Trespasser in freedom. You don your heavy diving suit and give the order to cycle the airlock. Water rushes in and you begin to slow swim down into the port. It soon becomes obvious that you are overdressed for the occasion. The people of Nook swim and breathe in the cloudy maw water with no apparent discomfort. Most are naked, with just a few clad in rotten rags that stream from their skin with no concern for modesty. None will communicate with you, if they even can. Those who acknowledge your presence just laugh silently as your bulky suit and unnecessary air hose. You'll need a different approach. An occurrence. Your Nook, a taste of freedom quality, is now 1. At least you're unlikely to run into anyone you know. Descend naked into Nook. You undress, every button, every stitch. The door opens. Ice-cold water rushes upward. Instincts hold your mouth shut. 10 seconds. 20 seconds. Your lungs burn, holding in that last gulp of air. Your legs thrash. You can't hold it in. It escapes. You're choking on water. It forces its way into your lungs. The taste of burning salt suffocating every attempt to gasp, scream, or... Then, through exhaustion and panic, you realize you're breathing. It's hard work. Your lungs fight against the weight, but it's enough. You can tolerate it, at least for now. The liberal application of wine will make this process easier in the future. Bring a cask. The beast quivers with distaste at your trespass. The waves are flecked with light. Occurrence. Your Nook, a taste of freedom quality, is now 3. Tolerance for Nook water quality is now 3. Okay, so there's quite a few things that you can do here. But it gets a little dicey if you spend too much time in Nook. There are some consequences. We can swim upwards to the Great Maw, attempt to mingle with the Nook folk, compile a port report, which we should definitely do. No one here has anything to hide. Actually, no one here is hiding anything at all. Notes on Nook, a vile place, festering, acidic. No laws but those of tooth and claw, written in scars. Civilization? Impossible. Making tea would be a logistical impossibility. Yet the inhabitants seem content. Many have come from London, the Khanate, the Presbyteriate, abandoning cultured life for this tenuous existence. They grin, their mouths full of stolen flesh, or float naked and carefree. Many have nothing, and nothing to lose. A group of swimmers dart past, hunting gleefully. One squeezes your shoulder companionably. You've never met her before. You now have 1. A port report of Nook. Our tolerance for Nook water is now 2, and we've gained a taste of freedom 4. So this actually went down. It used to be 3. High risk. Return to the Zubmarine, swim downwards to the serrated abyss, swim upwards to the maw. Let's attempt to mingle. They acknowledge your presence, but little more. Most shrink back, assume you mean harm. Others deliberately swim just above you in a crude attempt at intimidation. They carry bone knives or tooth-tipped spears. A few gesture to you in welcome? Invitation? It is unclear. The slightly Gluttonous water makes speech impossible, so the natives have developed the language of signs. You can interpret the most basic. A finger pulled across the throat, for example, is one of the more polite invitations to depart. You've lost 1. Nook tolerance for nook water is now down to 1, and we've gained more taste for freedom. Let's swim towards the Great Maw. We can gaze at the maw, investigate the etched-toothed house, or swim down to the ruptured throat. Let's do this investigation here. Actually, we'll do this one. Gaze up through the maw. Not many sailors have seen the Z from this angle. Crunching, writhing beauty. Light glitters where the false stars shine on the surface of the Z, framed by the maw's dormant teeth. How ancient is this creature? What happens if it swallows? You've lost 1 nook tolerance for nook water. You've gained a taste of freedom. You've gained 1 terror. We're now at 44 terror. It is time to leave. Your lungs, unaccustomed to breathing water, begin to labor. You must return to the ship. Old habits. There, the bright light of the submarine There, the bright light of your submarine's main beam, the airlock. Home. Air again. How refreshing. Good, all is well. Nothing has happened. Nook shall remain in Nook. Oh, anything that happened in Nook shall remain in Nook. Haha. There is another underwater settlement that is a long way to the southwest. There are some shops in Nook. Anything of import here? Sunlight-filled mirror catch boxes will fetch us 7 sapphires. That's interesting. We can buy Stygian ivory. There was a need for ivory somewhere, but I can't recall where. Bolts of spider silk sell for 53 here. I believe we sold these for 50 in London, if I'm not mistaken, so only slightly better here, but still something to keep in mind. What would I do with the Stygian ivory? I cannot remember. Somebody needed it for something. Maybe we can find that in our journal. Wouldn't be anything here. Wasn't that? Gate. The bitter flavors, mild coffee to ignite the mind. Watery beer to sustain. Crow. Nothing's coming to mind. I could have sworn we needed Stygian ivory for something, but at least we know where to pick it up now if we do come across a quest for it. Let's go ahead and check out a long way to the southwest. It's probably this. And I would actually rather not go back that far. want to head north, maybe? We can actually take this. This will help us. Are we moving the wrong way? Doesn't seem to be helping us travel. Seems like we should be getting some acceleration by moving into this stream, but we are not. Well, back to the surface. It looks like we're heading in the wrong flow. That was unfortunate. What do we got here? Looks like one of the whirlpools. Crawling stars! Look out! Shouts far above. The false stars in the cavern roof are shifting. A rare, ominous event. What now? Record the change and assign a name. If the new shape seems well-omened, your crew may be cheered. Who knows? A matter of luck. Eyes on deck. Forbid them to look. You can't really stop them, but you can at least discourage discussion. They won't like it, but it's safer. We've lost 3 terror. The raid wheel. One sailor claims it resembles the sun. Another, a Hindu mandala cross. A third suggests the Rose Widow of Chartres Cathedral. This excites mockery. Nevertheless, the reaction is positive. Good for us. No islands nearby. There's a rat ship. Nuncio is some distance to the north. Mark it on the map. Okay. Go around here and head to Nuncio. Maybe we'll attack this pirate rat ship while we're at it. Oh dear. Alright, cool. I can stay behind it. Should be able to take them down, no problem. Loot and scuttle her. She's a vile old vessel, and the Z's aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. These pinnaces don't sail far from their hidden harbors, but there's something at the back of the hold. We've gained 3 supplies. I think that was probably worth it. And we've achieved a new location on our map, Nuncio. Taciturn functionaries walk the docks in the uniforms of postmen. An enormous crown statue casts a chilling shadow. The shadows gleam with rats' eyes. Their ceaseless chittering rolls like the tide. Assemble a port report. Don't mind if I do. Explore the beach. There's a long stretch of shale dotted with washed-up kegs and barrels and smaller flotsam. Shifty going. The rocks slip and slither underfoot, but you keep your balance. Every lap the wave drags up some new letter, a parcel. The face of water is dotted with it, as far as you can see in this blackness carried by a powerful current. Argue with the man holding a broom. He is determined. He keeps shoving letters into the sea. The sea keeps shoving them back. Assist the man holding the broom. Both of you together still won't achieve anything, but maybe he'd feel better. Rescue a dripping parcel. The dripping is probably seawater. Probably. That's interesting. Drowning pearls, dozens of them, and an explanation of how they were harvested that turns the hair. The divers, lost among the deep coral, the beast that had to be fought off during the harvesting, the growing terror aboard the ship. All that has been done was done according to your lordship's will, concludes the letter writer. In anger, in pride, in unquestioning submission, impossible to say. We've gained some fragments, 5 terror, and 20 drowning pearls. Since we've exceeded 50 terror, gathering supplies at the funging station is no longer an option at all. However, you can still do tea with the factor and get a free supply, so that's often worth it if you're close by, which we are not. We can argue with the man holding the broom. No luck. It's pointless, of course. You try to tell him this, shouting into the shore wind. He stops and stares at you with blind eyes for a minute or two, then returns to his occupation. Can he even see the messages he is so desperate to send back out to the water? An occurrence. You've learned in postal secrets quality is now 1. Interesting. A pages challenge. This would be a tough challenge, but it would be easier with the right officers in place. %. Success. On all sides, you can make a complete circuit of the island. The whole shoreline is alike, all of it covered in debris, all of it washing steadily inland from every direction. Not the work of some directional current. It's more as though the whole Unterzee were draining into Nuncio. Except, of course, that force did not affect your ship. When you came this way, it does not stop ships from leaving. Evidently, it works only on the post. Back to the docks. Are there shops here? There are, but not much. Alright. I think we're off. We have 9 fuel and 7 supplies. And I believe our best course of action at this point is possibly to head north or south. If I head south, I can restock at the Fathom King's Hold and the Melting Isles. I believe I have at least 1 Z story. But that kind of takes me away from some of the stuff I wanted to do to the north. So I guess we're going to head north into the unknown and hope we make it somewhere useful. I'm going to try to conserve our fuel by not running lights too much, but I am going to try to get our terror bar down to 0 before we head out. Alright. Send our Z-Bat out. Khan's Shadow. That is good for us. Perfect. We're heading straight to Khan's Shadow. We needed to go there. There are enemy ships around Khan's Shadow typically, so we'll have to be careful of that, but Khan's Shadow is an interesting island, as you can see. It is made up almost entirely of old ships. Alright. Compile a port report. Long ago, the Khanate turned its back on its warrior traditions. It has no place for pirates and would be nomads. So here in the Shadow, the exiles make their home amid 100 wrecked, grounded, decommissioned ships. Approach the man staring at you. His gaze is rather intense. What does he want? The severe chemist glares at you over his glasses. Beneath the Z, Captain, there is a city of murderers. Within it, a plant known as Tether. Bring me a jarful, and I will pay you handsomely. Accept the task or walk away. Well, we can accept the task. A jar full of tether in rack. He smiles in the manner of a corpse whose skin is just dried out. Excellent. You'll find it in Rack, city of pleasures. I'll be waiting for you on the Unterzee, where my studies continue. Rack is an underwater city that is generally spawned near Gator's Horn. It is one of the more profitable places to trade, but only once you've completed some quests. Acquire a doomed monster hunter. The rebel lords of the Khanate are hungry for the secrets of the Dawn Machine. One among their number will volunteer to die for you, should you provide what they need. One element of Dawn. I have acquired an element of Dawn before, but I don't know that I've ever brought it back here. There are some shops here. Stygian ivory and human souls can be purchased here. Human soul trade is actually semi-profitable. Fuel is also purchased at a pretty ridiculous price. But outlandish artifacts. We needed 7 of these. And captivating treasures. So 900 for a captivating treasure if we buy it with the sapphires in that other city. 1500 to purchase one here. The Mile Breaker is also an interesting item that you can attach to your ship. I believe it attaches to the aft. Yes. This increases fuel efficiency by 10%, but reduces your hearts by 10. Fuel efficiency generally isn't worth it. There are better things that you can use. Mirror catch boxes are really helpful if you want to trade sunlight, which we don't at the moment. Do I want to purchase some crates of human souls? How much cargo space do we have? We have 20 cargo space. I have plenty of space. These are kind of pricey, though. can't remember what they sell for in London, but I'm pretty sure we can trade them in the bazaar that we unlocked. Let's go ahead and pick up pick up 10 crates of human souls and transport those, and we'll save the rest of the space for other things. Alright, so now that we've found Khan's shadow, we can find Khan's heart, because it's always very close by. And there's quite a bit to do in Khan's heart, but it can be tricky to get any of it done, because you have to basically earn your entry into the more valuable parts of the city. Alright, let's go over here to the Copper Quarter. There are 2 ports in this city. It's kind of like a floating fortress. Khan's Heart, London's rival. Khan's Heart, an oasis of light in the salt black wastes. Canals tread the painted city, street lamps glow, and water taxis putter. Seek a commercial license. The Cogenians dislike merchants, and they dislike foreigners. Foreign merchants induce paroxysms of antipathy. Perhaps sufficient bribes will buy you your way into the Nephirite Quarter. Time in the tea house, hire crew, wander Khan's Heart, purchase fuel at outrageous prices, 50 echoes. If you gain access to the Nephirite Quarter, you can purchase less expensive fuel. Pay a storyteller. Find your contact. A tough challenge. Gather a port report. A very chancy challenge. This is tricky. If you have an intelligence network here, it's easier. Here we go. Establish a spy in Khan's Heart. We should probably do that. Seek intelligence. Let's go ahead and establish a spy. That sucks. Your agent does not return. Have they spent your funds and run? Are they chained upside down somewhere in Tianum Stronghold? We've lost 100 echoes and we've lost our network diplomat. I guess we can wander Khan's Heart for a moment. Foreigners are restricted to the Copper Quarter, but as long as you don't try to cross the bridges, you can explore in reasonable safety. As you pass an elegant house, lights blaze and shouts echo. Someone has caused a commotion, and here you imagine is that someone slipping over the garden wall. He loses his grip and falls, a muffled cry, and he's sitting on the ground nursing his ankle. Assist him. He's probably up to no good, but perhaps that's an opportunity for you. Turn him in for justice and all those admirable abstract things. We're kind of a shady fellow, so let's see if we can assist this guy and get anything out of him. A devilishly handsome young man. Oh, thank you, he says. He peers at your face and adds, thank you, in English this time. I was visiting a friend of mine, and her other friend, close friend, husband, came home early. I could have been very embarrassed. Oh, great wind, you've recognized my face, haven't you? You haven't? Look, I'll put a word in for you with the clan. Drop by the palace some day, and you'll see I'll see you're remembered. Don't mention my name, though. Here's my boat. You, pilot, pay this one. He's a friend of Leopold. Leopard? He's a friend of the leopard. I see. You now have 3 favors. Leopard's condescension? You've gained 50 echoes. Alright. Seek a commercial license. Surfacer. But the Kagenians have been generations underground, and to them, all Londoners are surfacers. It seems you'll need to go to Khan's Glory, the nearby palaces of the nobility, to seek a license. Hire crew for 30 echoes. Probably wait till we get back to London. 6 crews, probably enough to do what we're doing. Pay the storyteller. 5 echoes. The storytellers of the Square of Cedars wear brightly colored kaftan-like clothing with silk sashes, in contrast to the more sober and subterranean dresses of the citizenry. For coin, even foreign coin, they'll sing epics of their nation's history. Where London now stands, the capital of the Khanate once stood, after its own disappearance from the surface. After the clean sky and wide earth, they went half mad in closed night under the earth. They found serpent things in mirrors that promised them diversion, escape, new horizons. In time, the mirror serpents became masters, not servants, and the last true Khan led the last of his people to the salt steppes, to a black rock where he founded this city. How he built it is a tale for another day. You feel eyes on you. A woman in white and gold uniform watches you closely. The loyalty service is suspicious of foreigners who want to learn Kagenian history. You've gained 3 menaces. Suspicion. New total is 5. You've gained a memory of a distant shore, and we've lost our 5 echoes. There are no shops or anything here. You can only buy stuff through here, and only 1. Find your contact. The Khanate is wary of Imperial spies. Go very careful. We should swap in our Vales officers and see if we can't get our contact. 36% chance. We failed. Hurry on by. You find the address, but the street outside is thronged with white and gold uniforms. Loiter on the corner. There are 2 hard-faced men in no uniform, but their own authority, are directing operations. Their white uniformed henchmen manhandle an unconscious body into a waiting boat. Your contact. Back to your ship. Quickly. Yeah, we're not going to get much done here, unfortunately. But that will probably allow us to get a new task from the Admiral. Let's go ahead and move up to the other part of the Khanate. Iron Quarter. I think it's all the way up here. Trying to remember how far you have to go to get to it. Khan's Glory, yeah. Should be up here somewhere. Okay. Where's it at? Somehow I missed it. Frostbound is some distance to the north. We should definitely hit up Frostbound. Oh, I missed it. We sailed right past it. It's actually right here. Alright, well, we'll have to come back another time. I'm already out to Frostfound at this point. Alright, engage the tireless mechanic for 20 echoes. That's the cheapest that we can pick him up. I will go ahead and pick him up for 20 echoes. Take tea with the squatters. Compile a port report, of course. Tea with the squatters is always pretty good. This will give you 1 supply and 1 fuel and lose 10 terrors. This is a great place to stop whenever you're out this way. We will not be entering Frostfound, and there is no shipyard or shops. So let's take a look at the map. We're really close to Irem, and Irem is a really important city that we want to have access to. Unfortunately, I did not bring any coffee with me, and so we won't be going to Irem anytime soon. But the map did mark something. I think that's Frostfound, though, isn't it? Curious. I think we're going to go ahead and... Do I want to go to Irem? Without coffee, it's kind of pointless to go there because you can't do much. And there's nowhere to buy coffee on this side of the map. So I kind of messed up in that regard, although I wasn't necessarily planning on going to Ireland when we started this trip. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll head to Port Cecil. I can definitely buy supplies at Port Cecil, and there's quite a bit to uncover between here and there. So yeah, let's go ahead and head that way. I am going to run with lights off for part of this. And we might even go submarine style. Let's see here. The whirlpools are actually the beginnings of these. Yeah, we're traveling against it again. We're close to Port Cecil. We're not quite there yet. We need to head south. That's where I normally almost wreck my ship each time. We should be very close to Port Cecil now. In fact, there it is. Okay, that didn't take too much fuel, but we are starting to get low again. Explore around Port Cecil. Ooh, interesting. A shadowy predator. It's the little things, the clicks of a sliding stone where there should be silence, a motion in the shadows as if there were thick stirred like ink, a lull in the cries of the Z-bats. Something is watching you, drawing closer hour by hour. You and your crew draw back to back, watching the darkness. A high-risk challenge or capture it alive. Retreat to the ship. Out of curiosity, we have our Veils crew. Wait, watch and end it, or capture it alive. Let's go ahead and take the high-risk challenge. We'll probably lose a crew if we fail this, which would be bad. Oh dear, we've lost 2 crew. You stalk it through the darkness, directing your crew to set up blinds and baffles and spikes and snares. It doesn't go well. One of your sailors steps into her own pit trap. Another backs off the cliff trying to do something elaborate with a rope. You see nothing more of the beast, but your wretched crew is proving to be more of a danger anyways. Back to your ship. You've lost 2 crew, you've gained 5 terror. Alright, well that's unfortunate. Gather our intelligence for now. And a high-risk challenge. We could improve our odds with our pages. Officers. You've succeeded in a pages challenge. You've gained 1 pages. Gambits answered. Odd thoughts bubble up each time you touch a chess piece. This one longs for home. That one has a secret desire for revenge against the slayer of its rank mate. This will be a queen one day. Those would do better as metal. You taste the metal. You ignore these thoughts and move methodically to a victory over your opponent. He blinks. Checkmate? He asks hopelessly. Win enough games and something else will occur. 200 fragments for that. That was good. We're not going to do it again. But we are going to visit the shops and take some precautionary measures here. Supplies seem to be going just fine, but fuel has me a little bit worried. So I'm going to buy at least 1. And then let's check the map and see from here where we might go. Honestly, it's looking like we can head to Demew, and then to the Chapel of Lights, and then to Mount Palmerston, where we can buy relatively cheap fuel to finish up whatever shenanigans we have left to do. I can also bounce to the Avid Horizon if I want to risk it. That's going to require more fuel than I've purchased so far. Let's grab at least 1 more. And then supplies shouldn't be too hard to come by. So I'm going to wait on the supplies. Is there anything else here that I want to do? No. Alright, so off we go. We'll head at an angle and try to cover some of this. Some of this map that we haven't quite covered yet. You stay away from me. Alright. See if the Z-Bat finds anything. Ah, Bonnie Reefs. Perfect. Let's just go ahead and head underwater. I believe the Bonnie Reefs is an underwater city. Maybe not. I'm not seeing a city. Be careful not to bounce into those. Let's see what this is. Shipwreck. A wreck. The wreck awaits below, a dark shape in dark water. What caused it to sink, and does anything salvageable remain? The cabins of the wreck are intact. Something of value must have survived. You are recovering salvage. A locked chest. You've gained one outlandish artifact. Salvage complete. Alright, we are north of Demuth, and it looks like whatever it was is over that way, so we missed it. Alright, I'm gonna head to the surface, get to Demuth. Bunging Station. Get to the Funging Station and get a free supply. Our terror is starting to get pretty high again, but that's okay. We can knock it down quite easily when we get back to London if we need to. Tea with the Factor. Accept a volunteer for 1 echo. I will definitely accept a volunteer for 1 echo. Compile a port report. Oh, and we don't get to do the other thing because that consumed our something awaits us. We can, however, buy another fuel. And then head to the Chapel of Lights, I suppose? Or maybe we go back to the Bonnie Isle. Yeah. Back around. Go around this way. So we got the fragment. I don't see a port here. Off to the chapel. Down to 3 fuel. And a fair bit of terror. The Chapel of Lights. Gather intelligence. What is our whole? We have 5 supplies. We will not be doing this. We'll just eat. Lose our 30 hunger, and I need to take a look at the map again. Is 3 fuel going to be enough to hit Avid Horizon and get to Palmerston? I believe it is. So we should do that. That's 1 free port report, which is also a little bit of money. Avid Horizon. Gather intelligence. We have 1 port report. Look into the stars. We will not be doing that. Alright, so now it's from here to Mount Palmerston. If we want to, we can travel along the icebergs and juggle our lights. And that will reduce our terror, but we're gonna run out of fuel. If we're not close enough, we don't get the terror reduction, and if we take the long route, we're gonna run out of fuel, so I have to be careful here. A little bit tricky, but once we get to Mount Palmerston, we'll be fine. As long as we do get to Mount Palmerston. Juggling fuel and terror is quite difficult at times. Down to 1 fuel. Alright, I'm gonna head straight through these lights. And we're gonna head underwater to avoid this ship. This is quite cool. One of my favorite underwater scenes in the game. You can see the volcano quite clearly. Oh dear, I hear the constant companion. So we are getting out of here. And there he is. Yeah, as soon as you hear that, you definitely need to get on your way. Alright, up to the crater. Independent verification. I can improve my mirror some. How many secrets do we have? 7? Let's go ahead and give us a couple more mirrors. %, chance. A tough challenge. Let's go ahead and try it. We failed. The Brass Embassy has asked for your independent verification of the Devilis's intelligence. It's possible that you might be able to eavesdrop on the convention. Somehow. You scramble up the stones, the ground is warm. You grow tired before you are more than halfway up, your mouth is full of ashes. There is a sound in the earth, a profound, complex, overwhelming drum, like the buzzing of a billion bees. You bend your head a little closer, and that's all you remember. When you wake, you're in the Devilis's cottage. Your head is in her lap. I found you on the slopes, she says. I thought I'd better bring you in before you heard something you shouldn't. She smiles. Strictly speaking, I should burn your ears off. But it's so nice to see you. Give the Devilis the news of the embassy and a gift. Give the Devilis the news of the embassy, but not the gift. This will gain you 150 echoes. We'll be nice. We already gave her our soul. The Devilis keeps little snakes as pets now, each no bigger than her little finger. She scratches their heads, she calls them by name, and once, when she thinks you weren't looking, she pops one in her mouth to chew it like a licorice treat. What did they say? She asks. Delight. The Devilis opens the parcel. Amanita Sherry. She pours you each a splashy glass, chattering giddily. She blushes when she sees you push the glass away. Force of habit. I don't really want to poison. It's such good news, isn't it? Do you really think they'd trust me? I would so love to get away from this ghastly little rock, back to where the souls glow and the dances never end. So listen, I have something more valuable for them. The names of seven devils back home who remain loyal to the aristocracy, to Princeton. Here, take the names, give them to the embassy, ask them if I can come home. Sail swiftly, my brave captain. All my hopes rest with you. An occurrence. Your objective encounters with the wistful Devilis quality is now 60. The Devilis has given you a second, more valuable message to the Brass Embassy. Alright, Mount Palmerston. Take note of a veiled woman. Let's go ahead and get a port report. A middle-aged woman in a veiled hat is staring at you, waiting for you to notice and listen to her. The Imperious Sister's Tale. She begins commandingly, as though you had met at a salon in London. As though you were no burning mountain at her back, and as though you were socially just a little her inferior. Thank goodness, someone who might help me, she says. I've been searching everywhere. My brother is troubled, you see, troubled by some past difficulties. I came to Mount Palmerston because I thought possibly they had his soul. She drops her voice to a whisper on the last words. But it isn't here. And now, there's something else I must try. And you have a submarine. An occurrence. Okay. Well, lots of submarine tales that we'll need to take care of at some point. The woman is no longer exactly youthful, but she speaks passionately from under her veil. Perhaps she has studied heroines on the stage. I need help to be reconciled with my dear brother. Listen to what she wants. Sure. She has a brother who is dear to her, a sensitive soul, very reserved. He used to work for the Admiralty. Something happened to distress him there. When I asked him about it, he said that I had enough to worry about with my own concerns. My husband was ill at the time, but I could help him if he would only permit me to know his troubles. For you know, she puts a hand on her heart. Bearing one another's burdens is what makes us truly good. She tells you that you'll need to go to Igel, the city of regrets, find her brother's regret, and return it to her. She will pay gladly. We haven't found Eigel yet. We're not going to be digging in the ruins, although this can be pretty profitable, but we're low on crew, we're low on fuel, we're low on a lot of things. So I don't think we'll be doing that. Ah, we needed a couple of ambiguous Elith for something. I want to say it was for the cigar guy. But that doesn't seem to show up here. And it's not showing up here either. Gosh, I wish I could remember. Who needed the ambiguous Elith? Somebody needed like 2 of them. Hideaway? Still haven't found that yet. Favors? Another day. I'm tempted to buy a couple. Let's buy 2 of these. Supplies we're good on. Fuel, I'm going to need quite a few. How many fuel do I want to buy? Should I just stock up on fuel? Wouldn't be the worst thing ever to do. We can get most of it back. I can't remember how many of these we needed. I want to say 2. I'm going to go ahead and buy 3. And we'll hold on to them for a little while and see if I can't remember what we need to use them for. Somebody needed them somewhere. I really wish this journal was a little bit more useful. It's very hard to figure out some of the things that you need. The other thing that would be nice is if you could write your own notes in this journal. That would be one thing that I would do. Now, obviously, you could open a notepad and just have a digital notepad, available to you to write down notes, but should I buy anything else? I don't think so. I think that's probably good. Okay, so from here, I have a couple of options. We can take the long route to Codex, Wither, down to Venderbite, and we probably have enough fuel to hit the Shepherd Isles and Abbey Rock, back to Hunter's Keep, Low Barnet, and London. So that's kind of the path that I'm thinking of taking. And while we're doing this, we might as well go ahead and head north and uncover more of the map. This will also hopefully help with our terror, because I can travel in the icebergs and cycle my lights to keep my terror under control. Oh dear, this is something that I was afraid might happen. Somebody has gone crazy. A high-risk challenge, a tough challenge. We're going to attempt this. We've lost 2 crew. This is bad. Losing 2 crew now has put us at a very slow speed. And I cannot move faster than this. So this is the risk of running with a crew of 7. Losing too many crew is very bad for you. Fortunately, you don't lose fuel efficiency, but we are going to run dangerously low on supplies by moving this slow. And we can't outrun anything, so any enemies that we come in contact with basically kill us. Also, I need to keep my lights on at this point because my terror is getting out of control, and if it gets too much higher, we could have that event spawn again, or worse. We might be able to pick up crew somewhere, but this is going to be risky. Okay, a damp request. Few return from Shinchander, not because of the danger, but because of the cost of leaving. Still, your guest promises compensation to cover the trip, and your safe departure afterwards. How generous. The monastic drowny silently boards your ship, due for Shinchander. Compile a port report. We might need to buy at least 1 supply. We are quite far from London. Let's go to Wither and see if we can pick up a crew. If we're lucky, we can avoid the iceberg, lifeberg. If we can't avoid the lifeberg, then we are just dead, basically. Yeah, this is really brutal. Roused at midnight. As the first watch ends, shouts for Ard rouse you. Your bosun's face is grim as you emerge from your cabin. We've lost one. Weighted himself with pans and gave himself to the depths. Took cook's best kettle too. Morale is worsening, Captain. A high-risk challenge. Remind all that all shall be well and all manner of things shall be well. If only they have the courage. An extra ration of rum. Yeah. We've lost 5 terror, we've lost 1 supply, and we're down to 2 crew. Great. Now we're going to be even more pressed. Unfortunately, officers do not count as crew, but they also don't eat supplies, so that's nice. Okay, what can we do? No, we don't want to go there, we want to go to Wither. Shore leave. Yeah, 5 terror will be helpful. It's expensive, but it's probably worth it. Explore the town. Let's not do anything too scary. Gather intelligence. Alright, shops. You could buy supplies for Tales of Terror. I currently have 8. I don't think so. I think we'll put veils, get our veils maxed out again, and try very carefully to get to London without running out of fuel or supplies. And without gaining more terror if possible. This is going to be very slow going. Oh shit. Come on. How did my ship hit anything? It's quite annoying. Alright, there's that dumb thing. With our veils being as high as they are, we're probably safe right along the coast here. Probably. Probably. Whew. Okay. Oh, this is long and painful. Running out of crew is one of the worst things that can happen to you. And in the wrong place, it is a terrible, terrible fate. We might be able to pull this trip off, but things are getting challenging. Every time we go out, we seem to have some type of disaster. Part of this is my fault from letting terror get a little bit too high. Alright. With only 2 crew, our supplies are lasting much longer. So there is that. And we're almost to a safe port. I don't want to fight bats. Don't really want to fight anything. Okay, tomb colonies. Gather the gossip first of all. A matter of luck. 60 echoes. Could go either way. Not that interested in that. Explore. Gained a memory of a distant shore. That would be mildly helpful. And I think we may have to just make our way to London. This is getting much too dangerous to do anything else. Even Low Barnet, which is on the way, and Hunter's Keep, which is on the way, are things that we might have to avoid. Alright, I'm gonna head straight for Low Barnet. Crap. We've gained 10 terror. That is not at all what I wanted to see happen. An old friend. She's back again. Can we use you? Hearts, pages, and mirrors. Not at the moment. Not unless you can bring people back to life. Alright, really close to Low Barnett. Should be right here. Yep, there it is. Why can I not die? That would be why. Shit. I can't stay. He's already here. Yep, we won't be able to go anywhere with our terror that high. I can go to Hunter's Keep for sure. We have 8 fuel. And it should be relatively safe to get to London from here. So one of the things that I not... Oh yeah, we don't have something awaits us? Okay, well... Looks like we have something awaits us, but we can't use it apparently. Well, we should be able to get to London. There's nothing really between us and London. There's no enemies that spawn in this area, and it's well lit. So we can leave our lights on for most of this. Oof, that was tricky. We're pressing our luck a little bit each time. This is also going to press our luck because when we get here, we are carrying illegal cargo, so there is a chance that we get caught. It's a good thing we did pick up the one crew that we did. I probably should have picked up crew in a couple other places. I need to be more cognizant of keeping my crew topped off when I only have 7. It's too easy to have a couple of bad events in a row like we just did that really mess you up. We can use the Admiralty's favor to basically get them to ignore our ship. I think that's fine. Pay the customs duty on an untaxed soul or romantic literature carrying. Surrender any smuggled sunlight. We'll do this. We've lost 5. But we should be able to make some money. Collect the messages from the harbor master. Alright, to the Brass Embassy. Well, before we do that, let's actually go to London. Let's get rid of our claymen. Let's check new recruits. Hire a new recruit for 5 echoes. That's easy enough. Who else do we need to go to see? Anybody? I guess we can do this. Incendiary material. The urbane devil waits, and his friendly smile that exposes his neat white teeth. He reads the letter and emits a long, low whistle that resonates oddly in the metal fittings and gives you the faintest tingle of toothache. There are some very senior names here. Very senior indeed. She wants to come home, eh? Well, either she's telling us straight, in which case Brimstone will have her baked in a pie, or she's trying to swindle us, in which case, well, I'd like her here so I can warm up my own pie oven. Either way, yes, the time has come. Bring her here, will you? We'll pay her fare. Thank you so much. You've advanced the cause of hell today. An occurrence. Encounters with the wistful devilish quality is now 70. Okay. Let's visit the rose market and see what is selling today. Nothing that we can sell. But we can sell these for 60, which we bought them for 53, I believe. So this will make us a fair bit of echoes. Is there anything else that we were carrying? Hold. Ambiguous Elith. We still have 7 fuel and 3 supplies, so that's good. Submit our port reports. Go ahead and get all of this money. We had 7 fuel, 6 and a smidge, to be exact. Frost found. Is it as beautiful as they say? I doubt it. Poets are notorious liars, but liars make bad poets. A paradox, isn't it? Never mind. Your report. 30 echoes and another fuel. Con Shadow. Ah. Other officials gather round to hear your tales of bloodshed and debauchery. And the jokes about the Khan of the Shadow produces so efficiently and so entertainingly. The one about the Khan and the donkey produces a roar of patriotic laughter and encourages the deputy recorder to unlock the departmental drinks cabinet. 30 echoes and a fuel. We've lost 5 terror. That's interesting. Salt mines. Oh, the Admiral collects these. Did you ask a drowny to marry you? 55 echoes for that one. Demew. Nook was a new one. No clothes at all. Wild orgies. Fights to the death in the... All together? The secretary glows crimson as he stares at your report. Tell me everything. Slowly. 50 echoes and a fuel. So you notice the port reports for the underwater cities are quite a bit higher than a lot of the other ones. We could ask for another... What do we need to do? No current mission. Here we go. This port. Speak to our agent there in return. We'll see that you're rewarded. Polythrene. Cool. That's an easy port to get to. Anything else? Ask him what he thinks of the voracious diplomat. A frank scowl. An unprincipled scoundrel, the Admiral snaps. If you have intelligence, bring it to me. Don't go off the books. Okay, make sure we did turn all of these in. It looks like we did. And there's not much else for us to do. Return to the docks. We need to hire more crew. This should be easy. We got 3 new crew for a total of 6. I really need one more, but 30 more echoes to top our crew off. I guess that's worth it. Okay, what are we looking at? 27,000 echoes, so we made a little bit of money. About 300 when it's all said and done. And notice we have 23 fuel and 3 supplies, so we are well stocked for our next trip if we wanted to go anywhere. We definitely have the means to do that. I still want to know what this ambiguous elith was used for. I cannot remember. And it's not coming to me by looking through my journal. Well, let's go to our lodgings. We haven't done that yet. Time with the family is always well spent. And we have lots of these. We've got 5 memories of the distant shore, 2 Z stories, and 4 outlandish artifacts. We'll go ahead and use this one again. We've lost 20 terror. And he is gaining more and more Z fever. The woman in lilac is gone again. Let's go back to our lodgings and rest for a night. That'll drop our terror down to 7. And we've lost 2 menaces, yearning, burning. We've also got 2 restful nights, which will help when we have nightmares again. And then we can visit our study. Maybe that's where I saw the ambiguous elith. Let's see. Tales of Terror. No. Not there. Well, we don't have any of these. The Alarming Scholar will trade ambiguous elith. What about the Diplomat? We can definitely get another one of these. So that'll allow us to place more intelligence operatives out there somewhere, hopefully. I'm not sure that there's much else we need to do right now. Put your ship in dry dock. It would be nice to cheaply repair our ship, but I don't think there's any way to really do that. Still, it's probably worth our time to do it. Even if we just pay the cheaper price. 75 echoes to repair some of our hull. This is only 25 echoes, but it burns up our favors, and we're kind of running low on those. We also could use supplies and let the rats do their work. Let's try this. We've lost 3 supply and gained 5 terror, and we only got 17 hull. Well, that's not great, but that's enough. We'll need to buy supplies for sure. At least 6. Maybe 7. One thing we could do is sell a bunch of coffee. That's another trade route that's pretty easy to do. It's a lot cheaper to do it if you buy the coffee elsewhere, though. It takes 22 fuel and 2 supplies to sail to the surface through the Cuman Canal, but perhaps we'll leave that for another day. I don't really think there's anything else we need to do here. Oh. I totally forgot about this. We sold those at the docks instead of here, and didn't get the better price for it. That's unfortunate. I'll have to remember that. Selling souls here is much more profitable than selling them. Well, I shouldn't say much more. It is more profitable. Is there anything else I want to buy equipment-wise? I don't think so. We have the best gun for our ship that we can possibly get without a quest. So I think we're in a good spot. I think we'll go ahead and wrap this video up today. I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am playing it. And we'll continue to progress with this captain, although we are getting dangerously close to the point where we won't be playing with this captain much longer. He will surely meet his demise. I will run out of luck at some point, not too far into the distant future, I'm afraid. And then we'll start again, and I will show you what the legacies are like and how you can acquire some early easy legacies and how they can make your next playthrough a little bit easier. Until next time, this has been TheNosePlays, and you guys have a wonderful day.